All right, so good morning. So when we get started today, we're going to do a little exercise to get ourselves in the right mindset, right? So we're going to sit up. All right, everybody sit up. I can see you all, everybody except Kelly, right? We're going to put our tailbone back. Our chin is going to be up. Our shoulders are going to be back. We're going to put a smile on. See? Oh, look, everybody's beautifully smiling. So when we do this, you know, we're just going to, I just got a little tingle when I did that because it really changed the way I felt. And it really, it can help you exude a little bit more confidence. So whenever you pick up that phone and you're making that call, you know, you're already in that positive mindset. So now that we're ready, there are some things that I want to share with you guys today. And the first one that I'm going to share with you is a little acronym that we call PIPES. Okay, P-I-P-E-S, PIPES. So what the pipes are, and I'm going to hold up my hand, and hopefully all of you have a hand with 5 fingers. If you don't have a hand with 5 fingers, look on the other one. If you're from Kentucky, you're in trouble, and counting will be difficult. That's okay. So we're going to look at these 5 fingers. So our thumb is going to be the P, right? Our pointer is going to be the I, and then a P, an E, and an S, right? So these are our pipes. The first P is preparation, all right? The next P is going to be inviting. This next P is going to be presenting. This next E is going to be enrolling. And this last S is going to be supporting, right? So when we look at our hand, this represents kind of the framework of our business, right? So with our business, we can spend a lot of time in this preparation mode, right? I know a lot of you like to read. A lot of you read a lot of books. I love personal development, and we'll talk a little bit about that too. But we can get in this habit of preparing, and we're just sucking our thumb, and our business isn't going anywhere, right? We can get in this habit of, you know, I just don't know enough. You know, I don't know how to use, you know, all 79 oils and all 54 blends, and you know, I don't know all the Big Al scripts. So a lot of those things we just get in that, you know, in that fear mode, or we use it as an excuse that we don't know enough. Trust me, you know enough to do doTERRA, right? You know enough how to share a sample and to be nice and be friendly and follow up with someone, okay? So that's the first P, that's preparation. It's important, but we don't want to spend our entire week or, you know, 4 months preparing before we get into these next 3, right? These next 3, these are our rainmaker activities. These are the ones that are going to make you money in network marketing. So inviting. Inviting is very, very, very important. You get paid or you create some income when people buy your product or your service, right? Would we agree? So if you're not inviting anyone to try your product, then you're probably not going to have much success. So we really need to focus on inviting, right? This presenting, a presentation can be a formal presentation where you sit down for 20 minutes and you go over a PowerPoint, or it can be hanging out with the ladies at the gym, you know, exchanging a deep blue conversation, or, you know, rolling some deep blue on your knee and sharing it, right? So that can be considered a presentation. And enrolling, you know, the people have to purchase your product. They can, you know, purchase it from you retail, or they can enroll as a wellness advocate, and ideally that's what we want to do. And then the last one, this S, this support, a lot of times we can get hung up in this support activity too, right? You know, I've enrolled a couple people. I now have a team on manager level. Oh my gosh, I'm a manager, so what do I do? Well, I sit here with my tea and my pinky out. I love this support role. It is amazing. Well, what happens? If all you're doing is supporting, you're not growing. You know, you become like the manager or the boss, right? And we all kind of get into network marketing for different reasons, but many people get into network marketing and start doing doTERRA because they don't want to have a boss anymore. They want to be their own boss, right? So just consider that whenever you've got your team, you've got them developed, and you're working together, use that term together and do it together. Don't just get in this, oh, I'm supporting my team and I'm a manager level now, and don't get hung up on supporting, right? So you need to be doing the same things that you expect your team to do, right? And that's the 3 Rainmaker activities, right? So what were they? So they were inviting, presenting, and enrolling, right? And if you are doing that alongside with your team, you're gonna see a lot more growth throughout, your entire organization. So we had an opportunity to talk with Elise Shedevy. So Elise Shedevy is she's working on triple presidential Starfleet Commander Diamond. And what she said is, she goes, you know what? I never stop enrolling. I have never stopped enrolling. So she is always meeting new contacts and always attracting new people to her business. And that's really propelled her to where she's at. Now, she's pretty aggressive, but she never stops enrolling. And when you stop enrolling, you become stagnant, and then people will see that, right? And we want to create a model of duplication, and whatever you do is going to duplicate, right? So whether you're enrolling or you're not enrolling, whatever you do will duplicate. So that's kind of a quick intro to pipes. And hopefully, whenever you kind of get stuck, or, when you look down and you see this, everybody's got one of these. So look down like, pipes. So what am I doing today? And you always need to be doing these things. You always need to be, preparing. So always be reading something to freshen your mind. You always need to be inviting someone. Maybe it's a neighbor or a friend, or, someone that you're nurturing a relationship with. Presenting, you guys as a team can be working on, team classes or team events, or you can be holding your own with some support of an upline if you're a newer person. And enrolling. And if you've not enrolled someone, or if you need some help with that, some help from an upline leader or something like that, with that enrollment is okay too. And that support. We always need to be supporting people. There's always somebody that may have a question. We can't spend our entire, all of our time working on that. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, we've got pipes pretty well covered. I'm going to jump in. I did a PowerPoint presentation a couple of, maybe a year and a half ago now, at a Super Saturday event we did, and it was on contacting. And I'm going to go through it pretty quick. If you have questions, we can talk about them at the end. And I'm going to go through it pretty quick, and then at the about midway point, I may play a little video for you that I think you'll like. So hang on with me for a second. I'm going to jump over here and get this going. There we go. All right, so this is a pretty nice one. A simple hello can lead to a million things, right? So how true is this? And I have lost visual from you guys. Let's try this again. And I'm not going to do it that way. So I'm just going to do it this way, so I can still see you guys. All right. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. No. There. All right. So a simple hello can lead to a million things. Can everybody see that? Just give me a head nod if you can see the PowerPoint. Negatory. All right. So I need to do a screen share. And that's probably why it didn't work. How about now? PowerPoint, can we see that? Yep, got a head shake. Good, awesome. All right. So a million, or a simple hello could lead to a million things. I can't tell you how many times just by saying hi to someone, it's led me to a conversation or something like that. A pretty good example is a cycling group that I was involved with a couple years ago. I just started talking to a lady, and I found her interesting. She was a hiker. She was a backpacker. She cycled all the time. She packed all her stuff on her bike and went bike packing all the time. So I just found her interesting. Well, the more we talked, the more we found out that we, liked things, similar things. And she ended up enrolling. So, and it all happened just by being friendly. So I was pretty I'm pretty amazed by that story, and I use that story a lot, but it's true. You know, a simple hello can lead to a million things. You never know where it's going to go. All right, so where do we find people, right? I hear this all the time. Where do you find people? So in the course of your day, right? So in the course of your normal life, where do you go, right? So what opportunities do you find yourself in where you can share doTERRA with someone? Okay, that's a pretty good question, right? Are you prepared with some materials when that opportunity presents itself? Do you carry the little doTERRA keychain with your favorite oils in it? Do you carry a little Modern Essentials book with you? Do you carry a little Ziploc bag with some oils and a little tear sheet? So these are some things that that we recommend people utilize to be prepared. So on the left is the little doTERRA keychain. You can order those on your back office. I think they're about $8.50, $6.50, $8.50, somewhere in there, and they come with the sample vials. So that's a pretty nice way, an inexpensive way to have some oils on you. A really nice way that doTERRA has come up with recently are the little sample packs, the sample trios. And from a cost perspective, these sample trios are a pretty good value. They are very equivalent. Lori, I'll get to you right in a second, okay? But I find these very, very nice to have on hand, as well as the Living magazine. All right, so I am going to pause here. And
I was going to let you know your PowerPoint, we can't see. It's just a blue screen. There's nothing on it.
All right. Well,
I didn't mean to interrupt. It just you were going through and we
no worries.
were unable to see what you were seeing.
No worries. So what I will do is I was
telling you about that, Lori, that old one on there. When we went to that very first thing with Lori, I went with the two Loris, Lori and Lori. The next Monday she had the first two.
Can you guys see it? Can you guys see it now?
No.
Now we see you.
You see me. I'm sorry.
I did not mean that in a bad way.
How about now?
Yes. Yes. Perfect.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. This is a learning experience. All right. So, Lori Sensing, you still have your hand raised? Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So, this is kind of what I was going through with the audio. And you can just see the visual of kind of what they look like. These Living magazines, they're very, very effective as a drop tool. They are now, doTERRA calls them a magalog, right? So, and you can order past issues of this. You can scroll through them online as a ZMag and find ones that you like. And if they're still available in print, you can order them. And they are a very nice way to share doTERRA with your friends. And they're like a little catalog in the back. I find that to be very, very effective when sharing with people. That way they kind of know, because they're always going to ask, well, how much does it cost, right? So they've kind of got an idea of cost along with some of the other things, the stories and such in the thing, right? So those are just some tools that I recommend having on hand, in your purse, in your car, or whatever. But you also don't want to look like a traveling salesman either. So it's kind of, there's a gentle balance there. All right. So this is where I'm going to start talking about having a list, right? And I'm going to post on your team page a contact sheet or list making sheet that I would recommend you guys use. It's a real nice way to track your contacts that you have through the process of inviting and following up with them, right? There's a couple different ones that we recommend. There's one that you can download from sharesuccess.com. It's called Expand Your Contact List. I will put that on Lori's group page, Happy Oiling, as well. But what you want to do is you want to make this list big, right? So if I put 10 people on my list, these are the 10 people that I'm going to talk with about doTERRA, and I contact them and they all say, you know, I'm just not really interested right now, I could feel deflated, right? But if I have a list of 200 or 300 names and 10 people say, you know, I'm not really interested, guess what? I've got 190 more to go that I can go through, right? So don't leave off any name. So these are some tips, right? So don't leave off any name. I know that you guys know a ton of people. I know all of you probably went to high school, so there's anywhere from 60 to 300 names of people that you know or knew at one time. But those are names, right? Write down all these names. Update this list as you make new contacts, and just start writing. Write down all the names you can think of. The more names you can put on there, the better. And if you have a spouse that's interested in sharing this with you, the two of you together know a lot of people, right? And you know a lot more people than you think you do. All right, so if you've never used this acronym, FROGS, it's something that I recommend when you're trying to build your names list. Some people say, you know, I just don't know anybody. It's going to be hard for me. I don't know anybody. Well, do you have any friends or family? Most of us have a family. If we don't have any friends, we've at least got a family. You know, don't forget those old school friends you have. Who attended your wedding? Who attended your child's baptism, first communion? You know, who did you go to New Year's Eve party with? That kind of stuff. Your recreational contacts. Who do you play sports with? Who's in the choir with you? Who's in Bible study group? Who do you hang out with? Who do you hang out with at New Year's Eve parties? You know, that kind of stuff. Who do you purchase things from? Who's your Avon lady? Who is your Pampered Chef person? Who is your 31 gal? You know, everybody's got somebody that they patronize, right? You know, who owns the bakery that you go to? Who's your favorite girl that cuts your hair? You know, that kind of stuff. Occupational contacts. If you work in an area with cubicles, man, you got a gold mine, because your cubicle can really smell good, and everybody's going to walk by and say, man, Mary's cubicle always smells like wild orange. It's amazing. I always feel very positive when I walk by Mary's cube. And then you can say, you know, well, I'll share it with you. You know, give them a drop, or, you know, let them borrow your diffuser or something. Geographical contacts. This one is one that you'll need to think about after you've kind of, you know, started enrolling people. And I love this one. Who lives far away that you frequently talk to, right? I have a friend in Washington, D.C. that I really, really, really want to join doTERRA. And I have been working to get her enrolled for about a year. And I'm always asking Whitney, hey, you got something coming up? Because I really want my friend Melanie to go to this. But Mel, she's just got some other things going on. But for me, enrolling Melanie would be a really great idea, because I like to go to D.C. I have friends in D.C. We've done a couple trainings in D.C. So for me, that's just a good thing for me to think about, right? That's a little bit distant, so you can think about a little more locally. Who lives in your neighborhood, right? Who lives in your old hometown, that kind of stuff. And then the last one, the S, right? Same name contacts. Who has the same name Mary? Who do you know that's named Lori? Who has the same name as your mother, your father, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your dog? It can go on and on and on. But this is just a really good way for you to brainstorm. And if you do it together with some friends, sit around for coffee. You know, I don't know how local you guys live to one another, but just sit around and just throw a name out and say, I know 3 Bobs. You know, I don't know too many Radars. My dog's name is Radar. I don't know too many radars, but just have some fun with it. And I really think if you build a big list, it will help you to develop your contacts. All right, moving on. Now, when we get these contacts in our names list, we want to pre-qualify these contacts before we start reaching out to them. And there's a few different methods that people do that, right? So you got your warm contact list, your cold list. But these are just some general guidelines here. And this comes from the class planner from Share Success, and I will post this as well in your group. I like this one because it's kind of simple. And I'm just going to walk through what I've done with Susie Q here. So on this, I write Susie Q's name, her phone number, or just how I'm going to naturally contact her, if it's via text or email or what have you. And then I'm going to write down what's her ailment, or what's her health goal. What's something she wants to work on? Well, Susie Q needs some joint support. So what I sampled her, the law of 4 interactions there on the right, I sent her a sample, so I put an X there, and I sent her deep blue and lemongrass, right? But before I did that, on the left-hand side, I pre-qualified Susie. She's interested in natural products. She knows about essential oils, and I introduced her to doTERRA. So now I can work through those gateways with her by sharing an essential oil with her, following it up, inviting her to a class, presenting some information to her, following up again if need be, and then enrolling her, right? So this is a nice way that you can keep track of all of these people that you've come across. So when you're going back, on next week trying to figure out, okay, who am I going to talk to today? Just pick up this sheet and say, okay, I think it's time to follow up with Susie. Or the example I was using earlier with Whitney is, she said she was going to try the essential oils that I sent her, so I was going to follow up with her on Thursday. It's Thursday. I need to follow up with Whitney. All right. So this is a nice way that you can manage your contacts and pre-qualify them. Right. We don't want to send our cousin Bob, who lives in New York City, who's a Wall Street tycoon, who burning both candles at the end, then doesn't really care about himself. We don't really want to send him a bunch of stuff, because he's probably not going to be interested unless we pre-qualify him. Make sense? Okay. Now, we've kind of got our people, right? So we've got this list of people. We need to invite them to something, right? So the first thing that this is going to entail is me putting something on the schedule, right? So I'm going to have something to invite Susie Q to, right? Whether it be a one-on-one for coffee, whether it be a class at my home, the library, the community center, the doTERRA event in Bloomington, whatever that may be, you're going to have something to invite them to. So these are some effective ways for inviting people, and I'll give you a little info as to why. Face-to-face is the best way, and the reason why this is the best is because you can really read their body language. And it's going to be very uncomfortable for Susie Q to create an excuse for me if we're friends and if I'm doing it face to face, right? The second best way is by phone, and that's a really good way. Again, it's almost as good as face to face. Then the next way, it's becoming very, very popular, is text messaging, instant messaging, Facebook Messenger. And I recommend that you check out on YouTube Eric Worre, W-O-R-R-E. He has a 20 or 30-minute video called The New Recruiting Technique. If you are a little bit more of a shy person, this may become a popular method for you to communicate. I would recommend checking out the new recruiting technique. Especially with millennials and the younger crowd, this is pretty effective because we're used to text messaging, instant messaging, and that kind of stuff. Okay, so those are the most effective ways. The least effective ways, and these are the ones that many of us do, are the email blasts, right? So we load up a bunch of emails and contacts, and we say, hey, I'm having a party at my house, I'd love to see you there. Boom, and you send it off. I don't know how many emails I get a day because I don't always check my email. So I just find it very ineffective. But to some people, if Mary is really into email and that's the way she's used to doing it, that might be the best way to contact Mary. You're going to have to know your contacts and see what is the best way to contact them. Okay, flyers on the health food store bulletin board. Again, probably not the best use of your time. You might catch some people interested, but if it's a public event you're inviting them to, you might not know that they're coming. If it's a private event at your home, who knows who's going to show up? I don't know. That's kind of up to you. The postcard invitation to cold contacts. Does anybody get the value pack mailer in the mail? We do, and I throw it away. I don't even look at it anymore. And again, that's additional cost. Probably not something in our model that we would do, but some people may want to try it, but just try to avoid that one. And the last one that's really popular is just a Facebook multi-blast. Don't post on your timeline, hey, I'm having a party, I'd love to see you there, and expect 10 people to come. Unless you are, just the social butterfly, they're just not real effective. I would recommend a personal message, a personal invitation to someone on Facebook over the Facebook blast. I think those are just most effective. All right, so we've got our contact list, right? We kind of know the basics of how to perform an effective invitation. Would it be okay if I shared with you some scripts on this? I think that might be a little helpful for us. So before we do that, we need to understand these 4 basic rules, right? And the first one is the hardest one, but if you can do it, you're on your way. You're on the right track. You have to emotionally detach yourself from the outcome. Okay, whether Mary says yes or no to my invitation, I can't get held up on that if she says no, that we're not going to be friends anymore, because it's probably not going to be the case, right? Mary may not be interested, or she may have a prior commitment, right? Your goal is you're just the messenger, right? You are not the message. Whether they say yes or no, it's not going to affect their opinion of you. Whether you say yes, whether they say yes or no, you are still you and they are still them. Okay. And you've got to focus on not getting a new customer or a new builder, right? You're getting, you're just a friend, right? You're just sharing this as a friend. Your intention is not to get them as a customer or a builder. You're just sharing with them, right? Be authentic and be you. Be comfortable with you. If text messaging is a good way for you to do your invitations, stick with it, right? If by phone is the best way, do that. You don't have to memorize a bunch of scripts. Just be you. Be authentic. I like to do this one. Be passionate about the invitation. Put on some oils. You've got an arsenal of oils in your home. Put some on before you pick up the phone. Put on a little frankincense on your throat. Put on some bergamot. Put on some AC/DC Thunderstruck while you're, to pump yourself up. Because that phone can be scary. But if you smile when you're on the phone and you've got your positive attitude on, it's going to be a lot easier for you to get through those invitations. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Have a strong posture. Posture can be, standing, sitting or standing, but posture is also be firm why you are inviting them. So Mary, I know that you're interested in some essential or some natural health care, and you've had some struggles. I would really think you should try some of these essential oils. I really think that you would like them. And just be passionate about the oils. Be passionate about the message. And that's all you are, is you're the messenger. All right. So, making the call. All right. So my cell phone or my phone sometimes looks like this. I don't want to pick it up. It's scary. It's going to bite me. It's going to pinch me. But we need to understand there are only 4 possible results when you contact someone. You might get a yes to whatever the reason you're contacting them, whether you're asking them to come to a class or you're asking them if they would like to learn more. And that's good if you get a yes. You might get a no, and that's okay too. I like this next one. You might get a no with a life lesson. And if you get a no with a life lesson, you're just going to have to accept that that was a life lesson and move on. Or you might get a no with a procrastination. Procrastinations happen all the time. That's why with my little example with Whitney earlier, I really, I really asked her a lot of questions to get to the really what I wanted to know is when can I follow up with her to see if she'd like to learn more. I asked her if she would like to try some essential oils. She said yes. If when would she try them? Oh, next week. Great. If next week, then can I follow up with you on Thursday? So I really wanted to get to that last thing is when am I going to follow up with her? When is that next appointment? Okay, so we don't want our phones to look like this, right? So whatever we can do to pump ourselves up and to make that phone not look so scary, that's what we need to do. Okay, so hopefully now that we're ready to make that invitation, I'm going to go pretty quick through these, and I'm only going to read the ones in blue. But the first thing we want to do is we want to be in a hurry. We want to let people know that we're busy and our time is valuable. And, we want to, or that we also can say that, their time is valuable, right? So, Mary, I know you're really busy and I really respect your time. So I wanted to reach out to you real quick, right? So you've really complimented Mary. She knows that her time is valuable. She knows that you respect her time and that this is going to be quick, right? So the next thing we want to do is compliment her. Mary, I know you're real busy. I know you're into health and wellness and look for the best alternatives for you and your family. Would you be interested in learning more? Right? So we're in a hurry. We've complimented Mary. Here are some ways that we can really invite them, right? I think I've found a way for you to, support your mood naturally with some essential oils. Or, Mary, are you still looking for some joint support? Or have you ever thought about using essential oils to support your joint health? So those are some really good invitation. That's the direct way. Indirectly, if you want to put yourself as more as the messenger, then this one works really well with family and friends. I've just started with doTERRA, and I'm kind of nervous that Noah will come to my class. Would you like to come over and join us? So that kind of takes you off the hook and puts more on the message, right? I like this one. I'm expanding in your area. Would you do me a favor and take a look at this and let me know if you think it would work in your area, or if you think you would be interested in, learning more. All right, so this one, this is kind of my secret weapon, and I used this with Whitney earlier. If I would you, all right? It's a very powerful word. it's reciprocating, right? So you're exchanging value for value. Mary, if I sent you some essential oils to try for your joint support, would you do that? Right? And then you pause and you let Mary answer you. Well, yeah, I think I would try it. Well, great. When do you think you could try it? Well, if you send it to me today, if you drop them off today, I could probably use them today because I need some support today. Well, great. Do you think I could follow back up with you on Monday after you've had the weekend to use them? Oh, yeah, Jeremy, that'd be awesome. So in a real short period of time, you have her permission to drop off some product. She's going to use it this weekend, and that you can follow up with her next week. And at that time, be prepared to give a mini presentation to her what the product is and how it supports her body. And I think this is really powerful, and it's not threatening at all. And I use it a lot here with these scripts. I send a lot of videos. If I sent you a video to watch, would you watch it? Yeah, I think I could watch it. Well, do you think you could watch it by Tuesday? Well, yeah, I can watch it by Tuesday. Well, great. Wednesday afternoon, I'll follow up with you and see what you felt the best part was. Okay, so these last ones, just confirming the appointment. Again, when do you think you could watch the video for sure? So if I called you next week, you will have watched the video. If I called you by Monday, Mary, would you have used the essential oils over the weekend that I give you for the joint support? And then just reaffirm, hey, is this the best number for me to call? And then every time they say yes to these questions, you're confirming in their mind, and you're getting their permission to follow up with them. And then remember, you're in a hurry, so you gotta get off the phone. Right? Great, Mary. I'll follow up with you on Monday. Have a good weekend. So don't say, oh, well, great. So I'll follow up with you on Monday, and then talk with her for an hour and a half about, the sorority meeting that you're having, this weekend or next week, or some cake decorating class you're going to. Get off the phone, thank them for their time, and move on. You being busy is one of your best weapons, right? They don't have to know that you're busy with your business or you're busy with your family. Just the fact that you're busy shows them that your time is valuable. Okay, so did everybody get all that? That was pretty quick and dirty. I can share this with you guys if you'd like. And I think that would be beneficial for you in the future. So let's go to here. So good. Wow, everybody's still awake. Good. So I'm going to minimize this. So I promised a little bit of fun. See, how are we on time? About 40 minutes in. So I'm going to share with you a little quick video I think you'll like, and see how you think we're doing on this one. Kind of give me a head nod, Mary Razor, if you can see the video. No? Okay. Let me try again. Share screen. Yes. Okay. Audio? No audio? All righty. So I think it is in somewhere. Audio. Okay. For the sake of not understanding, I'm going to have to not do the video. What this video is it's Mandy Kuhn It's called Back Off. I don't know if this is still available on YouTube or not. If it is, I would recommend you check it out. If not, I may be able to post this on Lori's page. So, all right, so we've got a little bit of feedback. I've got 2 people with raised hands. So, Lori Fox, go ahead. No, nothing? Okay. Lori, you sensing anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to say quick before it all shuts off that you guys have some amazing mentors on here. We have Jeremy, Whitney, and Patty on here. And the fact that they've chosen our team to mentor is amazing. So take advantage of it. You are allowed to outgrow me as a mentor and reach above and beside me for help. Okay.
So, Lori, I don't have a time restriction today. So,
oh, you don't?
No, not today. Yeah, so I'm good today.
Okay.
Okay, so what else did I have? Okay. Okay. What else? Okay, so I'm going to open this up to questions. We've covered a lot of stuff right now, and I do want to end this about 11:30 with respect to your time. So what I think I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop the recording because I think what we went through was kind of the best part of it. But we'll stop the recording, and you guys can kind of feel free if that's okay.